So in the previous tutorial, in the previous video, we created a button, navigate to register, which when we click on it should take us to the register page. So what I'm going to do is I am going to click on the button to register. Let's run our emulator. So if I click on register, we just created this button. This button is we're using an intent. When we click on register, it should take us to the register activity where we'll be able to register a user. Okay, so if I click register, and there we go, it takes us to our register. I'm having a bit of issues with my emulator. Okay, so this is the button that we've used. Hello, so I have just entered some details and have been able to register. So it says james@gmail.com case. I've been able to register successfully. So if you want to check to make sure that our work has actually, there's something in our table, what we can do is we can go to app inspection, click on app inspection, and then we can select the processes that's currently working. It should be this emulator. Okay, let's run it. I think something is supposed to be running. Okay. And then this pixel. This app inspection is meant to show you exactly what's happening. But I also want to show you, before we do that, I want to show you where you can actually find your database. So if you go to your emulator, device file explorer, and you click on data, and if you also click on data, and you scroll down to find .com example, because whenever you create yours, it's always going to be .com example. So example, mine is Events Organiser, and you see you have cache, code file, code cache, you have databases. If you click on database, you see there's got two different databases here, and then you'll be able to see that it's here. So if I scroll all the way up, by default, Android Studio creates you a database and event database journal, which is, we'll discuss that in a later tutorial, but the one you need to worry about is the first one, which is Events Manager. And then you'll see here that my app inspection have now finished loading up, so I'm able to check in my table users. So if I click on table users, you'll see that I have successfully been able to register james@gmail.com and James, and I've been able to put everything that I wanted in there. So you see that we have been able to successfully create our application. Well, we started, so if you're joining us for the register bit, you realize that you've been able to now create a registration form which saves to the database, and that is where we currently are. In the next video, we will look at how we can get a user, we can check if a user exists in the database before allowing them access to the database. What we will also do is, yeah, that's the part that we will work on. We're working on a login activity where when a person enters their username and their password, we will check to make sure the username and password exist in our database. If it exists, then we're going to give the user access to be able to go into our application. And I'll see you in the next video.